They fly in, they can attack individual targets, or they can spot, and then you just let your Air Force and your artillery do the work. And then you send your valuable guys in to hold up the flag, clear it, and set up the next hub, and then move forward. It would be stupid to do anything else. If you got robots to go out and do the dirty work, then you send the fucking robots out. You don't fucking send your dudes out to get wasted unnecessarily. Why should 3 guys die doing the job that 1 drone could do and come back? You know what I mean? It's stupid. Anybody that fights differently now would be an idiot. Your drones are the ones that do the dirty work. They're going to find the targets. They're going to attack the targets. They're going to coordinate. And then when you shape, and we've heard this for fucking the whole time, the Russians shape the battlefield. That means they're going out ahead of time. They're hitting the repeaters. They're killing the drone teams. They're sending in reconnaissance teams. Those guys probably go in a little bit. Then they launch drones to go in farther because they ain't trying to get smoked either. It's minimal risk to the live bodies, and you maximize the use of the technology, and that's what the Russians are doing right now.
Also not slow. You're also not moving so fast that your supply line can't keep up. Right? That's a very logistical problem.
And there's literally no reason for Russia to create a problem unnecessarily.
That's exactly right.
The robots can do everything in front of them, and they can move up at their leisure. And there's no fighting any other way when you have that ability would be stupid.
Right.
The Chinese, Chinese literally have millions of bodies to throw at a problem. But guess what? They're probably going to throw millions of drones at the problem instead.
Yeah.
But to that point, though, because I think it kind of the Russians don't have any shortage of drones or manufacturing ability thereof, as far as I know. So, if they were then they should actually be able to have a pretty good grasp of not only what is in the first line, but also what follows afterwards. Can they actually move further or not? And the main thing here that seems to kind of be more or less justifying the Russians to take it so slow is simply because the slower they take it, the longer they're keeping the logistics for the Ukrainians. But what good is that if you're not, because you need to compel the Ukrainians to actually supply. Otherwise, it's not really good for anything. And this is where the drones again come in, right? Because even if the
logistical support needed for 10 guys is the same as 50. So they're still stretching the logistical line of the Ukrainians by forcing them to keep moving back and forth.
Sure. I'm not denying that, but it's still if they are working on a low steamer, right? What you need to do then is apply the pressure. And so here the Russians could easily just commit drones because the Ukrainians, maybe it's not troops that are taking over the front line, but they still have to respond to drones crossing over the front lines and try to assess what is the situation or strike targets. And this is something the Russians could fairly easily do. No response.
Who says they're not?
Well, but that's my point. If they're first moving in somewhere, right, they should be having already behind, let's say the example that Vaughn gave, right, where it's very sparsely, or you just have a tree line. You don't even know how many is there. Maybe it's just 4, right? Well, then you should already have drones actually well beyond that one before you start smashing that one. Because if there's any someone trying to crawl out or someone trying to move in or whatever, in anticipation of you doing something, you're already there ready to kind of track them with the drones and disrupt them.
That's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing.
It's exactly what they're doing. You think those guys on the motorcycles are driving up there without a drone, going up there first? Come on.
That's the thing. If you see the drones are everywhere. There's guys riding around with motorcycles and they got 4 quadcopters and baskets. So that guy's probably going to ride somewhere and drop off some drones to a team. Or maybe him and a buddy are going to drive somewhere, hide in some bushes.
And who says that the guys driving the drones behind them they're not leapfrogging these drones?
Yeah,
right?
If you look at a lot of the motorcycle assaults, they are covered by drones, and it's not Ukrainian drones coordinating fire.
Which makes sense.
It's the drones flying alongside, and you can see them zigzagging, and I'm sure they got drones out ahead of them telling them where to go.
Exactly.
Think about it. And why those guys are riding towards it, even if those drones aren't armed, they can still buzz those guys in the trenches if there's anybody left and keep their heads down.
Yeah, you just need drones to be your eyes and ears looking forward. You don't need every drone to be able to attack or drop a grenade.
No, I get that, but the point is more why the Russian momentum is so slow if everything indicates that they can more or less waltz in, right? Because if they face resistance, and then
it's their plan. It's their plan to go slow. They're bleeding the Ukraine. they're bleeding Europe. The more the longer this goes, the more it costs Europe. The
Right, but you're
more
not
it costs
leading
the
the-
EU,
I
the more
get
it
that.
costs NATO.
I get that because then they're trying to move the
I
cost
got a
and
jet. I'll be
build
back in
advantage.
like an hour.
Right. But the point I'm making is that like you still you need to treat the enemy in that way as well, but you also need to punish him. You need to the objective here is after all demilitarization, right? So if the enemy is not supplying, for example, the front line is they've turned to be sparse, you need to apply the pressure in order to make them commit. And that's what I kind of get the impression. Every time the Russians are moving forward, it's because the Ukrainians are kind of bluffing to the point where they have nothing left. The Russians just move in, and it's like, okay, now you have to apply the pressure. Now you have to actually commit yourself to the next time because you know we're moving closer. Like
Sure, but the average age of the conscript on the Ukrainian side has gone up quite a bit. It's probably gone up 10 or 15 years. That's because of so much attrition.
How much? What is the? I forgot. They had like a dozen mobilization within the first year, wasn't it, or something like that? Like,
well, I mean, they keep raising the upper limit and lowering the lower limit. I mean, what is it now? Like 17 and 55. I mean, they're taking guys old, almost my age, for crying out loud. I mean, how's that an effective boot on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think a guy my age is gonna? I mean, I can shoot.
No man's land and dodge grenade shells and shit.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm an old grandpa, but I mean, I'm a dangerous motherfucker. But you think I'm gonna carry a ruck and move 20 clicks every day? I got a news flash for you guys. The only way I'm moving 20 clicks is on motorized movement.
I've seen an ad. I've seen ad in on the Russian channels for the recruitment, and they basically accept to someone up to 60 years old, and I don't think they're they're not they're not attack
Logistics
forces,
maybe.
Yeah, logistics or like
Sure.
medics or just people in the back, and I think you're like you're an older guy, you might say you're not valuable,
You think?
but your like experience and your patience might be more valuable than some younger dumbass who wants to
Well,
prove
I
himself
mean,
and like
there's plenty of guys my age that you put me behind a precision rifle with a or in my case I'd want 2 or 3 designated spotters, especially working in a drone. Yeah, I'd be dangerous within a mile and a half. But there's probably not 10 of those guys in the entire Ukrainian conflict.
yeah.
Why?